is naturally in the law, a boundary commission, he is the chairman. And then next is the Attorney General. And we have a DG. At that time, it was Mr. Diggy. And we wanted a fair play in both states presenting their position. Because when we handed over Bakassi, which I was the one who handed over as on behalf of the federal government, the oil ways that were in the background, Cross River was hemmed out. So what was left was the oil way that were on the land. So from the report I got from Diggy, we dispatched the boundary commission's officers, led by DG, to go to the contesting parties. And they have a look at their case. And they were arrived in Calabar. I think the governor was not around. And our hear from them separately, hear from Akwa Ibom separately, and after that, call all the parties together. I think for like 5 days, they were in Calabar. No official Cross River came there. And the time we gave them to listen to Cross River passed. They also went to Akwa Ibom. They were welcome and they made their presentation. It was like you fight a matter and there's no defense. But after that, when the report was submitted and we took action, the governor came, Lee Moke, wanted to reopen the matter. I think the vice president, then now President Jonathan, he was sympathetic. I was sympathetic, but majority of the members felt that they waived their rights at that time because they had every opportunity. Nobody came to the boundary commission throughout the 5 days they were in Cross River. It was a very unfortunate situation. I've never seen a situation like that where officials of the state will be so nonchalant on such sensitive issues. So I don't want to go further more because I was privileged to be a player and I wouldn't want to disclose government secrets to a certain level. But certainly, such a sensitive thing, and you had a letter coming from an office of the vice president, chairman of the boundary commission, introducing these parties are coming simply because your governor is not around. Nobody could even receive them. They have to find their ways, stay, wait, and nobody could arrange where the people will sit, and nobody could appear before them. And the time for their presentation was 5 days. They left to Akwa Ibom, where they were welcomed and they did their presentation. And when we came back to sit on the matter, the report was, we had no contest on the Cross River's claims, made our recommendation to the president. And that's all it was.
But sir, it seems to me
the governor came back.
But sir, it seems to me that the major question now, 26 years after, it seems to me that the major question to resolve is whether or not Cross River State has any case, to the extent that the ICJ in the Bakassi matter had decided that Cross River State does not have a seaward territory, that it is not a littoral state, and that the 200 meters isobath, with the effect of the ICJ ruling, now belongs to Akwa Ibom, to which that 200 meter seaward territory is contiguous. Cross River went to the Supreme Court twice. Twice, the Supreme Court of Nigeria also ruled in favor of Akwa Ibom. And then Akwa Ibom, maybe as a result of the intervention that you just described, now offered Cross River State 250 million ex gratia monthly. So why is it that 26 years later, the same Cross River is bringing up the matter again? What do you think could be the motive? Do they have a case? Sir?
These are the challenges that were present that time, and these were the issues Akwa Ibom presented with Supreme Court's decisions back in them. You see, these are the issues. I think there were like 2 oil wells that were remaining on the land, which was in contest, which could have still made. I said, Ruben, honestly, I don't think if you sleep over your rights, you can then look at status of limitation. For 26 years, you just come back and say you want to reopen the matter. I wonder whether that is founded in law or even iniquity. I don't look at it founded in law or iniquity.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So you're saying that even if they can
They
prove that there was... Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Vigorously during the government of President Yaradua. They could have done this during the government of President Jonathan himself, who was then also, as vice president, was chairman of the Boundary Commission. And they did not. They did not.
Okay, but
the issue of the areas that are covered by the Supreme Court, if nobody accepts legislation, you can't just overlook the judgment of the Supreme Court, and that those areas is not even a contestable issue. I think the focus would have been the 2 or 3 oil wells that were on the boundary within the territorial boundary, not the sea issue. I think that is the target at that time, to tell Akwa Ibom, please, that was the thinking of everybody. That, oh, look, you have a fair share with so you can allow your brothers, the others, let's do an adjustment that we accommodate them to remain in the oil producing state. But they didn't show up.
Well, but at
that time, they didn't show up.
Before we go, I mean, I get the point you made about the statute of limitation. Is the ICJ ruling also covered by the statute of limitation? Is there any hope that Nigeria can reopen the Bakassi case?
Enforced.
Okay.
The Bakassi has been opened, the last stretch of Bakassi implementation, because I was the joint chairman of the Green 3 agreement. I was the leader, and then there was the Attorney General came around that time. So we have completely implemented the Green 3 agreement, which was signed, was a vehicle for implementation of the ICJ, the judgment. So I don't see how, if judgment has been completely enforced, the last stretch of the judgment was the handover of Bakassi. So I don't see where anybody can come out. Can you don't reopen a judgment has been enforced completely and the issue buried?
Well, thank you very much.
Things happen. Law springs up every day, so I wouldn't know. But this state party, the Green 3 agreement, was signed and witnessed by the 5 superpowers. And we had meetings in Switzerland severally on the implementation of the Green 3 agreement, starting from Bruno down, which some villages were considered to Nigeria, down to the issue of Bakassi, down to the coastal area. We have completely implemented the Green 3 agreement and completely handed over the last stretch, which was Bakassi. And that closed the chapter of the judgment. So where is somebody coming again that I want to reopen the judgment that has been implemented?
Technically, crossover.
Mind you, at that time,
no
we
case.
had a lot of contention, and I stood my ground because we had already started the implementation under the Green 3 agreement from the northern part of Nigeria, and Nigeria accepted the villages that were giving. And when we came to Bakassi, then people came in and said, we cannot implement the judgment was unfair, and this and that. And I said, look, we're in the community of nations. If we never wanted to avoid the judgment, we couldn't have been a party to the Green 3 agreement. We couldn't have accepted the villages in the implementation of the Green 3 that were considered from Cameroon to Nigeria. We accepted all this. And when it got to Pakapa, we said we will no longer go. And I felt it was more honorable and desirable, Nigeria being a major power within the African state, to live by example and
Okay,
accept
thank you,
the
sir.
judgment completely. And that's what we did.
Well, thank you very much.